Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Michelle Shaw, and I am your kindergarten social studies virtual specialist. I want to thank you for viewing this instructional video brought to you by the Georgia Department of Education. This video will highlight the blossoming experts sitting right inside your classroom. Kindergartners are natural wanderers. They have so much curiosity about the world around them. They want to know who, what, when, where, why, and how. But if you know kindergartners like I know them, then you are familiar with the typical response when you ask, "Does anyone have a question?" 9 times out of 10, instead of asking a question, they share an experience they have had related to, sometimes unrelated to, the topic of discussion. So they may not ask a question, but the curiosity is there. Through inquiry based lessons where students are exploring a topic and answering higher level questioning, they are becoming experts. We are growing experts. How many of you love the play on the word kindergarten? On the word garden in reference to the word kindergarten. I know I do. I have often used garden as a theme in my classroom. A garden is such a fitting comparison to what we see over the course of the school year. We plant seeds of understanding the foundation of the social studies strands: history, geography, government, and economics. Students begin their introduction to the United States history through the study of important American holidays and symbols. Basic concepts of geography are presented. Civics provides students with an introduction to rules and character traits of a good citizen. Basic economic concepts are also introduced. But just like any good gardener knows, without fertilizer, the plants may begin to struggle. Furthermore, fertilizing is especially helpful early on when plants are making fast new growth, just like our very own blooming kindergartners. So, kindergarten teachers, how are you fertilizing your seeds? I know that you are planting seeds of knowledge by teaching the standards, but how are you going a step further? I began to fertilize my seeds by calling them by their expert names. In my classroom, I have planted seeds of history, so I have historians. I teach geography, so I have a few geographers. I introduce positive care traits, and so of course I have American citizens, and I explain economics to the economists in hopes that my students understand that they are learning the special skills required to become experts in each of these fields. Before you introduce a standard from the historical understanding strand, describe a historian. Inform your students that a historian is a person who explains changes that happen in the past, what has stayed the same over time, what caused the change, and what were the effects of the change. Let them know that as you all study the national holidays and the people or events celebrated, as well as the American symbols, that they are historians and refer to them as historians during each lesson. Understanding how big our world is a difficult concept for kindergartners to understand. Show them a map and a globe to awaken their curiosity about exploring other places. Explain that a geographer is a person who studies the environment and how people impact it. They explain that where a place is, why people would move or leave a place, and describe the people and places around the world. Students love becoming geographers as we compare and contrast maps and globes, and even become explorers like Columbus. The introduction of the United States government and civics is explained through the description of positive character traits such as honesty, patriotism, courtesy, respect, pride, and self control, shown by good citizens. Create a positive classroom environment by stating that each student is a citizen. Explain that citizens are members of a political community and are expected to respect and follow the rules and laws of that community. School supplies, lunch money, ice cream purchases, school pictures, yearbooks, field trips, school shirts, fundraisers, book fairs, and so much more goes on during a school year. Going to school may be the first experience kindergartens have that brings attention to the need to use money to get the things that people need and the things that people want. Explain to your students that an economist is a person who studies the ways people make a living and study the work that people do to meet their needs and their wants. That they also gather information about what goods and services are being produced and consumed and what are the opportunity costs. Call your students economists as they study the work of community helpers, income, and how it is used to purchase a good or service, while learning how to make a choice because unfortunately, we cannot have everything you want. Planting and fertilizing this seed is probably the most important seed to nurture because it will impact their future roles as workers, entrepreneurs, consumers, borrowers, savers, investors, and voters, helping to make our country a better place. Thank you so much for checking out this instructional video. There is great power in words. Calling your students historians, geographers, economists, citizens, or even authors, illustrators, mathematicians, scientists, the list goes on. These plant the seeds. It establishes a growth mindset, enabling students to believe that they are well on their way to become an expert in whatever field or area they want to be. Remember to join me on the GaDOE community online. Follow us at GAK2 Social Studies on Facebook or email me directly for any questions or suggestions. This is Michelle Shaw, your kindergarten social studies virtual specialist. Remember, enjoy every moment.